So I'm so happy that you guys are here. Welcome to ServiceNow Business Analyst Boot Camp. This is not a ServiceNow certification training, guys. Here we get you coach and we mentor you and we get you ready and we transform you to become an IT consultant. All right. So, and we are very seasoned in this and we know what we do. And I do want to introduce you myself for the folks who do not know me. My name is Sudesh Anand. I'm the founder of Lead Techno. This is an IT staffing, consulting, and training services. And we want to do training because we want to give the right coaching and mentoring to aspiring folks. And I see that there's so much of information and guidance is required for people to transition into a job. Okay, it can be very daunting and difficult if you do not have right guidance and mentorship, and that's where I come in, and we help people move in different kind of cloud security and infrastructure careers. This boot camp is especially for the folks who would like to specialize in a demand technology like ServiceNow, which is in a very high demand and a low supply career. A lot of people don't know what is ServiceNow. On top of that, they don't even know there is a BA job. This career is hiding in plain sight. Okay, so we're going to take you 0 to 100. My colleague Nishant is with me. He's a consultant with over 10 years of experience. How many of you have seen my webinar before? If you guys have not seen it, I would recommend you to check out our YouTube channel and just type Lead Techno Staffing. It will come up and you can see the most recent info session. And but I would advise you to meet and talk to me because the folks who have spoken to me, they know that I take a lot of time explaining how you can go 0 to 100, guys. This is not a decision just you come in and you make a decision yourself. Do not trust your own forecast. You need to speak to experts, okay? And we have already 20 plus guys started with us already. Batch is already formed, but I'm more than happy to offer you first 3 sessions as a complimentary. You know what? We would like to check out and decide, right? That's okay. If you want to buy a car, we want to buy something, we want to go to the store and feel it a little bit and then buy it. That's okay. So I want to tell you what you need is a right partner and a guidance to get into a career, and we are here. It's okay. Some people need time to make decisions. That's okay with me. And we are offering the first 3 sessions free, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8:30 p.m. I recommend you guys to come in, get to know Nishan, get to know us, how we are going to transition. You talk to us, get to know us more, and by this we can make a decision. So we're going to get started, okay? So hi, Nishant. Good evening, Nishant.
Hi Sudesh, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hope you
Nishant
all are
is my
doing
rock
good.
star. Hi, Nishant. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Super excited to be here, and I'm sure it's
I'm
going to
I'm
be
very
an amazing
thank you,
journey.
Nishant. It's always a delight to work with you. Nishant is our principal consultant of ServiceNow. We learn a lot from him. I do want to tell you something, guys. To move into a transition, a career into ServiceNow, you need to know what's happening in ServiceNow, and Nishant is the guy. All right, he's the man who's going to help you to become friends with him. Okay, I'm giving you a small tip. All right. Okay, with that, I will Nishant. I'm going to make you the host. You can take
Okay,
over, and do want to let you know we want to keep the first 3 sessions little light, and Nishant will share you the roadmap, and he's going to tell what we're going to do and all the stuff. By the end of the session, Nishant, we can have a small Q&A. Is that okay?
sure, sure.
We can
We
have
can
a
have.
Q&A and you guys can ask some few questions. We can handle those. Okay. Over to you, Nishant. Take it over from here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sudesh. Let me share my screen quickly, and we can get started. Hi, everyone. Let me know if my screen is up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
I can see your screen.
We can see Nishan.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so I'll tell you how we proceed in our training. But few ground rules. Like first of all, I'll tell you that how I proceed. First, I'll have a PPT, then I will be sharing what all topics I'm covering. I will be having an Excel file with me when I will be explaining you everything. So consider this is my whiteboard. And then as and when we will move towards the ServiceNow part, then I'll have my ServiceNow sandbox as well. And do not worry that I am the only one who is going to perform anything on ServiceNow. You will also have your account created on ServiceNow. So when we'll reach at that stage, then I'll tell you how to create your account and how to move forward. So this is your entire roadmap for this training. We'll start with business fundamentals so that if you are from the BA background, you might be having some knowledge. But what is it that you require in ServiceNow? If you do not have a BA background, then this is a perfect start for you. When we'll tell you what is it that is required to be a BA, what are your responsibility, how do you bridge the gap, right? How do you work in a project? So we'll take some time, good number of classes for business fundamentals. Then we'll move towards ServiceNow. This is where it starts. So first we'll tell you what is the admin responsibilities. ServiceNow admin part. Any tool, any application that you want to learn, you need to understand the admin part of it, which is applicable to any of the application you're working on. Then we'll move towards ITSM. ITSM is IT Service Management. This is core of ServiceNow. When ServiceNow started in 2003, Fred Ludy, the first module that they started working on was ITSM. So consider rest of the products in ServiceNow, whether it is CSM, FSM, HRSD, SPM, all will be easy for you to pick on if you understand ITSM. We'll have a deep dive of these two modules, admin and ITSM. After then, we will move towards SPM, which is Agile Development. SPM is your Strategic Portfolio Management. This is basically, see, you know BA fundamentals, you know what is your responsibilities, you have understood what is ServiceNow, admin part, you have understood ITSM. Now, suppose there is a project you're working on. The client says that you want to implement ITS in ServiceNow. So, where is it that you are going to store your requirements? How will you perform the actual work? There will be developers. Developer would be developing on ServiceNow. But what is it that you will do? So, you will be performing your execution on agile development. So we'll do a live demo, we'll do theory part of it. I'll bring a project and we'll perform. So this will help you to do a simulation that how tomorrow, if you are into a project, what is it that you will be doing, right? After this, since we have covered ITSM in deep, we have covered admin part of it. Admin is applicable to any of the product. Then ITSM is one of the product. We have touched SPM. Tomorrow, if you have to work on any of the new product, like if it can be FSM, it can be CSM. FSM is Field Service Management, CSM is Customer Service Management. So, what is the template that you will follow to learn any new product? So we are going to cover in HRSD. So I'll follow, I'll give you a template. I will tell you how to approach a new template. So we'll cover HRSD there. It will not be a deep dive, but it will be enough if tomorrow you see you are into a project and your manager says that you have a week's time or you have 2 weeks. We are going to deploy you into a new ServiceNow product. So prepare yourself. So you can use this template. So we'll cover HRSD for you. And then there will be workshops, not workshop, I would say, but there will be in between sessions where that I'll tell you that if you are into a project, so how your day looks like, what is it that you will be doing into a project, how your day will start, what are responsibilities you will be having, what happens before the project, what happens after the project. So everything will cover in this session. And then one session will take for certification and interview prep, wherein we'll tell you that how will you prepare for interview, how will you prepare for certification. Certification here is your CSA, that is Certified System Administrator for ServiceNow. So this is your roadmap that we are going to follow. As I mentioned, that your first phase is business fundamentals. So here is our first phase. Any question before we start? Are we all ready?
Yeah, Nishant, already.
Yeah, Nishan, go ahead.
Yes, Nishant. Yeah.
Yes, yes, please.
So far, we
Okay,
are good,
great.
Nishant.
Go ahead.
Perfect. 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 Thank you. So we'll start with the first phase, that is BA fundamentals. So this is your roadmap. I'll start with first part, that is BA overview, roles and responsibility. This is your foundation. Now, what is a business analyst? You must have heard this term over and over, right from the webinar to today's class, and you will be hearing it throughout the training. So, what is a business analyst? Now, understand the hierarchy of a project, or I would say the components of a project. Simple project is there will be a client and there will be a vendor, right? Client has some requirements. The requirements is, for example, we'll take here that client is saying that client has selected you as a vendor, right? So I'll call this as some company. I'll name it as company X, right? And then company X has a project manager being hired. And client is saying that I have a requirement. The requirement is I want ServiceNow to be implemented. In ServiceNow, I want ITSM, right? They came to you and they say that you have that you do a current assessment of my environment and I want this to be implemented. So in that case, this is project manager. Vendor side will have a project manager. They will have a technical team and also they will have a BA. Technical team will have your developers, testers, and architect. This is a typical setup you will see in any of the project you will be part of ServiceNow. Now, this BA is there on the vendor side, but understand the BA is standing here. I usually say that BA is between these two ends, and I'll put it him into green. So what BA will do? BA will collect requirements from the client and he will convert it into a language that is understandable to this technical team. And if there is any challenge that technical team is not able to understand, he will have an understanding, he will clear it with the client. So that's how this the ends. So understand this is a business language and this is a technical language. So BA is standing between them and communicating from both the ends and helping them to bridge the thoughts and then deliver these requirements. Now, what is it that happens between this? How the communication will be facilitated? What are the steps? What are the phases that we are going to discuss? Can we please go on mute if you're not speaking? So BA is the one who is the bridge between these two ends and would be facilitating those communications. If I come here, the definition, a business analyst bridge between these two ends. They help organization to deliver values. What values? Identify problems. What is the issue? What is the problem statement? Gather requirements. They will gather requirements and then design solutions. They will design solution and then this team would be working on that solution, will develop it, test it, and then give it to client and then they will use that end product. That is the final product. Now, what is happening between everything is what we are going to learn. Now, in this entire process, one thing I'm saying here is that BA will have communication, BA will have collaboration, BA will help in gathering requirement, BA will help in creating solution, right? But at any point, one more thing, BA will have a functional understanding of what the product should work like, right? But at any point, BA will not be involved into coding. So these are my greens, and this is my red. Coding part is done by this team, technical team, basically developers. And if something is there as a, if there is a technical understanding or any technical, if we need a technical design, at that moment, this I will put into Ember, and here you will take help from technical team as an architect and developers. You will be facilitating that uh, meeting or that communication. You will try to understand what are the understanding, technical part, technical design, but this is your core responsibility. You can facilitate uh, this communication, but coding you will not touch it because you are not supposed to. You have developers, and same goes for testing. Testing also will be done by either testers or developers. But yes, you can of course validate some of the functionalities based on your understanding, which you have gathered in the starting. So this is a very high level that you will be doing as a PA. Now we'll dig deep in all of these phases. So BA translate the language of business into a language developers can understand. They do not code but ensure what is developed aligns with the business objective. Now, let's understand then what is the core role of a BA. Here we have understood what a BA is. Now let's understand what are the core roles. So the core roles are understanding business needs here. So business would be having an environment. I'll call this as, I'll call it black box. Right now we do not know anything about clients, right? So they have an environment. In this black box, there could be their needs. Wait, I will. They have some needs. There would be certain challenges that you need to identify, or at some moment, client is helping you with it. These are my requirements, these are my challenges. You need to analyze, since once you understand their needs and challenges, you need to understand their as is. As is their current process. That what is it that they are doing in their current state? What process they are following, how they do it. If there is a process, for example, simple example I have used many times, I mean before in the previous batches. If there is a leave management process, so how does it happen? Nowadays it has changed entirely, but in earlier days, how it used to happen? That this is an employee, this is your manager, then you have HR. So you will go to the manager, you will tell them that you need leave for 2 days or 3 days due to these reasons. Then you will get it sent to the HR, HR will approve it, you will send an email and you will get a confirmation. But nowadays, this has changed. So consider that this is as is, right? This is their current process. So this is how you will gather information that how do you do it? What are the stakeholders involved? What is the process? How does it start? How do you validate that it is completed? So that is as is. Once you understand your as is, then you will ask questions about what is it that you want in the future state. That is to be. So you will be designing a to be. That in future, how do you want this process should look like? They will tell you that maybe I want a portal to be created. In that portal, I should have a input form. And in input form, I should be able to provide information. And then once I click on submit, a request should be placed. Pardon my spellings. That once you do it, then a request should be placed. This request should go to manager. Manager should approve it. And then within a day time, you should get a revert saying that your leave has been approved. So this is to be process. Now you've understood what are the stakeholders involved, what are the approvals required, and then what is the solution looks like from starting to endpoint. So that is to be. So you can tell them that there is one as is and to be process. At the same time, this is called CMO and FMO. What is CMO? CMO is current mode of operation, and FMO is future mode of operation. So this is what you need to understand, right? These are your responsibilities. That how do you operate today? How do you want the process to be operated in future? Understand their as is. Understand their to be. How do you understand their as is? You need to understand the process. They would be having some SOPs. SOP is standard operating procedure. It's nothing but it's a Word document wherein steps are written that at one step you will go there, then second step, third step, fourth step, and there it's a guide. Suppose this is nothing but a manual. You would have suppose you purchase a phone or any item. So there is a manual attached to it where it is written instructions how to use it. Similarly, to apply a leave, there should be SOPs. If not, then you tell them that who is using, who is raising a request or how they do it. There would be a facilitator or SME who can help you. Now, whenever I'm using these words, I'll keep highlighting. And for your reference, I will be sharing one glossaries with you so that you understand what are these terms. And having a good hold of these glossaries, these words, stands you out from a regular BA to a ServiceNow specific, as ServiceNow BA. So SME is
Subject matter expert.
Subject matter expert.
subject. Great. I think we all are already SMEs in BAs. Okay. So subject matter expert, right? So this can help you this can help you understand the process. So this is what we will understand from, this is another core responsibility. Now, once we have understood the requirement, understood their as is and to be, then we will be documenting. So there are some deliverables that a BA will be, you know, uh, providing into a project. Those deliverables are your BRD, FRD, user stories. BRDs, FRDs, you will draft it on a Word file. BRD is your business requirement document. This is business requirement document, and FRD is functional requirement document. Okay. And user stories will come to know about user stories in few days. But just to tell you, user story is a small component of requirement which will help developers to create or to develop ServiceNow this project. So we'll talk about user stories in detail. Then you will be coordinating between stakeholders and developers. What are the stakeholders? One stakeholder is your client. Second stakeholder could be there is a leadership team. Leadership team on both ends, a client's leadership team and also your vendor's leadership team. There would be some delivery team. Now understand these different stakeholders. I'll have a session though. Delivery team is someone who will be using this product or currently using it. You will come and you will create a product and you will give it to them. They will be using it. So at times you need to understand or you can call it delivery, are your users. What is it that they would like to see in the product, right? Then you will be helping in validating solutions before deployment. So anything, the simple, if I tell you in a very high level, this is what the phases of a project looks like. First is your planning phase. Then you have a designing phase. Then you will be having a develop phase. Then I'll have testing phase. And then last is my deploy. Planning phase, you will be gathering the requirements. Designing phase, you will create your BRDs, FRD, solutions is created. Development, development will be started, and testing, there will be internal testing, then there will be system testing and UAT. UAT is something wherein users will be coming up and they will do the testing. This is called user acceptance testing. So you will help in validating before deployment, that you will be having a UAT. You will be coordinating in UAT. You will not actually perform any UAT, but you will coordinate. And after you have provided a sign off, you have given a that we are good with this requirement, good with the development, then you will deploy it. Here, once it is deployed, it is open to be used by this users from the client side. So this is what the core responsibilities of a BA looks like. Okay, before I move forward, any questions we have in understanding any point so far?
No questions, Nishant. Very well explained. But I have, I just need to ask whether we will get any study material for all this, because I'm just thinking, do we need to take
Mhm.
notes as you're speaking, or you'll be sending us something that we can study later on?
Sure. So for this, what I will be doing for now, I want you to have your complete attention into this uh, uh, session. After the session is over, you will be provided a recording of the session. And by end of this phase, I was mentioning these different phases. After end of each phase, I will be sharing for you to study. Now, understand this study material will not be in deep like this, but yes, it will be enough for you to study whatever we have studied, so you will be able to catch up everything. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Nishant, a quick question. When you
Yes.
said BA will help with the UAT testing, so the acceptance testing document will be prepared by the BA or by the vendor client? How much of
Okay, you're
involvement
saying
is the BA? Like, what is the exact involvement of a BA in a UAT?
perfect. So right now, since we have not reached till this point, so far I just covered the high levels, but just to answer your question, UAT is nothing but a user acceptance testing, wherein you already have some requirements. There will be a steps written that how to, suppose there is a process for this only, leave management, that how do you apply a leave? You will go to step one, go to portal. Step two, click on leave. Step three, input your details. Step four, click on submit. Step five, you will receive
That
an
that
approval, right?
steps will be prepared by
Those
the BA.
no will be prepared by testers.
Okay.
So see, understand, in the testing, there are two types. One is wherein your testers will test and they will test end to end. And when I say end to end, that there will be some technical testing, there will be some functional testing and everything. User acceptance is only, I do not care what is happening at the backend, that there is some logic, there is some coding, and there is some integration. For a user, you just need that there will be a simple. So, for example, if this is my Excel file, I have to provide it to a user. I'll just tell them that open the Excel file, you have formulas, use it, and you're done. But at any point, I'll not tell them that at the backend what is happening. There are macros, what is happening behind the macros. If I create a dashboard, then what is happening behind the dashboard? So the behind part is done by testers. First type of testing. So one is your, uh, I will call it testing. One is your technical, and then another is UAT. This is from user's endpoint. Like user doesn't care what technical things you're doing, whatever you have done. For him, he just simple that there should be. If I talk about this HR leave management, that there should be a portal. On that portal, there is an input form. You fill that input form, and then after some time, you will receive a message. When you will receive a message, when manager will approve it. So one test case is for user, one test case is for manager, one test case is for HR. So you will write these simple test cases, testers, and then these test cases will be performed by UAT, I mean testers, and they will provide a sign off whether they're able to understand or not. This is not technical. This will be technical. You understood?
I understand. I've done being part of many UATs, but the thing is, the question I was asking was BA. What's the role of BA in this process?
Okay, BA would be coordinating this UAT. When I say coordinating, first part is that there will be an RTM. RTM is your requirement traceability metrics. Like what are the requirements? What are the test cases being prepared? He will arrange a meeting, right? That he will give a direction that this test cases will be performed. This is the sequence, and on daily basis, how many test cases are being performed? What is the result? Sharing it with the stakeholders. So those part will be performed uh, by BA. And if you're stuck somewhere, maybe you can create a testers group, chat group, wherein there will be a developer who will be helping them with those test cases. So those facilitation of all of those meetings, all of those coordination will be done by BA. And at the end, when this testing is completed, that taking the sign off at any point from functional standpoint, if they are stuck somewhere, what should be the actual working of that particular test cases, so that BA will be aware because that is a functional test case, that is user standpoint. So they will be helping. That would be the role of BA. Is it you understood about it?
Yeah, I understand. But generally, I've seen this role being done by the project manager, but I understand that
No,
BA.
no. BA would be facilitating the communication. Project manager will be taking care of, I'll tell you what project manager will be doing. We'll have a dedicated module. What all work will be there? Project manager will be doing those work. It's a little different in when I talk about service now, right? It's not a regular. Like, see, understand if we have an SDLC, right? The regular like domain BA, if I call it. Like there is a domain of like healthcare or maybe banking. When you develop a product there, it's different as you're working in ServiceNow.
Okay, the ServiceNow has a different. This is a ServiceNow way of handling the.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Exactly. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Then I think we'll move forward to the next part. Now, since we are talking about ServiceNow, so there is any of these projects that you will be part of, most of them are digital transformation. When I say digital transformation, ServiceNow is all about workflows. You will get to know about what is a workflow. Workflow is nothing but any process that you're following today. Might have some manual step or it is not trackable. So I have to bring it to a point wherein I can digitalize it, I can track it, and I can easily understand what is my point A to the point B. So a digital transformation is not just about tool, it's about improving the process. So you are not doing any mundane task. It is making more sense, and you are putting more focus on these business outcomes. What are the business outcomes? That it is the process are more efficient, you are able to save cost. When do you say the cost saving happens? One of the uh, KPI is, or one of the initiative is through automation. Now, I can give you one example. One example is that probably there is an issue. In that issue, or maybe you would have seen it. I'll take an real life example. You all must be having a laptop, and you will see that sometimes due to the memory utilization, maybe you are running many processes. Like you have opened Chrome as well, you have opened Adobe, you have opened one more application, you have opened 5, 6 applications. So your laptop will be stuck. But after some time, when you start killing the process, maybe you have uh, closed 2 or 3 applications, your laptop will be back to normal. Same things happen with office laptop as well. Like when you go into the complete IT. So there is an issue with which is known as memory utilization. Like CPU utilization or memory utilization is high. So you do not, it's not something that you will do there. You will just wait for some time, and automatically when it is distributed, accordingly, that whosoever will require utilization, it will be given to them. Then this process will be stabilized after maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour. So for these issues also, there are some incidents created or tasks created. So engineer will pick it up, they will keep it for some time, and they will not do anything. They will just monitor, and after some time when it is back to normal, they will close the incident. So ideally, there is nothing as productive that an engineer is doing. So what we'll do, we'll try to automate it. Right. So that's how this cost saving comes. Or maybe you bring in some process that that particular incident is not created at all in the first place. So those are some initiatives, or maybe some manual process has been taken into a good workflow, a good like here, as we have converted into this leave management process from a manual one into a one wherein you can easily track it, and it's more feasible, more efficient. And you bring in CX, that is customer satisfaction, customer experience. So in platforms like ServiceNow, BA will help move from manual workflows to automated digital workflow. Now, from today onwards, or maybe once this training is over, any process you see, not in terms of IT or in terms of your company, but tomorrow, if you are even picking an application, or you are going to government for some maybe your driving license or some health insurance or anything, you will see these workflows being being used. And if not, then your mind will work like this, that you will understand maybe this process is manual, I can make it into a digital work. You take example and it's there. Everything, that's why we say everything is being digitalized. So ServiceNow is one platform which can help you achieve that objective. Now, if I can tell you the key responsibilities in the various phases, right? As I explained, these are your various phases: planning, designing, dev, testing, deploy. So if we can tell you discovery, analysis, design, implementation, and validation. So here your responsibilities are, if I just take example of gathering and analyze requirements, interview, like you will have a workshop with the client, you will have an understanding, then you will document their process and pain points. So you will understand their as is process. Then you will define to be, you will create a workflow design, create workflow for case approval. You will work with developers and testers so that you can validate that what is happening on this form, what are the rules that needs to be applied. Then after that you will validate and the last part is validation, when you will conduct UAT and you will receive a sign. Here, there is review of test cases and acceptance criteria. To answer your question, this is what the phases will look like, and this is what you will do in the validation when UAT is there. So a quick tip as a BA is, or for you is, you always want to understand why. For example, if they say that, we want to implement ITSM or we want to use ServiceNow. So first thing you would ask is, why do you want to use ServiceNow? And what is it that you are facing the challenge today? Right. So understand, if they say that, instead of suppose this leave management itself, if they're saying that we want a manager to be there, so understand why managers need is there. So the answer to this why of manager's need would be that manager will approve it. Why do you need HR? HR will finally put a sign off on this leave, and then she will approve it or he will approve it. So that's what you will understand why of each of these requirements. Because once you understand the logic or reasoning behind any requirement, it is very easy for you to create user stories. It is very easy for you to create design and workflow.
Quick question,
Okay.
Nishan.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to understand in this stages, what is the scope for change management? If there is any responsibility for the BA in the change management process?
Great. So change management will come here at the deployment phase. Okay. And
Understood.
it's a very good question. And just to give you complete answer, detailed answer will be covered here. I have one topic specifically for change management in ITSM. I have two classes for ITSM.
Okay.
Not for ITSM, but for change management in ITSM. ITSM has IM, that is incident management, PM, that is problem management, CM, that is change management, and there is service catalog and request management. In change management, we'll cover everything. But just to answer your question in short, change management, uh, BA's responsibilities will only come when the change is specific to ServiceNow.
Okay. So there is nothing to
Right.
do with the workflows.
Exactly.
Okay, understood.
Okay. But you will get more detail when I'll cover ITSM. I'll cover these different scenarios there.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. BA deliverables, as I have already explained, few of them, that you will have a BRD, you will have FRD. Now, how to write a BRD, how to write a FRD, I will be sharing template with you so that you understand. If tomorrow you have to write a business requirement document or a functional requirement document, you should be able to write it. Then user stories. User stories are, I'll give you one example of user stories because I'm using this term more often now. So user stories is a small unit of a requirement. Suppose this is your requirement of leave management. So user story would look like, as an employee, I want to submit leave on portal so that my leaves are approved. So the format of a user story is as persona, right? Who is doing the action? What action you will take, and what would be the benefit of that action? Okay, so you will write stories in this format. Okay, and for each story, there is an acceptance criteria that you should have access on this portal, right? You should be part of, uh, uh, You should be part of an organization, like all those. That is your acceptance criteria. This is what a complete user story would look like. A developer will pick this user story and then he will start the development. We will discuss more examples. We will discuss it more, in detail in the upcoming classes. But for now, this is how a user story will look like. And understand this might be like 80 to 90% of the time you will be asked one interview questions on a user story. What is a user story? Give me an example. What is acceptance criteria? Definitely one or two questions will be there. So this is one of the things that I will be covering in upcoming classes, that I will keep telling you that you can expect this question in your interview, or you can expect this question in your CS exam. So this might not be there in your, this is what I will be keep telling you. So be attentive. User stories, you will have to write. Process flows. Process flows are nothing but, as a BA, you would be using certain tools. There are certain your weapons. One of the weapon is uh, diagram tools. Like how will you draw the diagram? How will you draw the flows, workflows, or process diagrams? So you can use Visio. You can use, there is a tool called Draw. There is tool called Lucid Chart, and there are many other tools as well. And if your company is not providing you any tool, you can use PPT, right? But just to be familiar, how to create diagrams, what is the meaning of each shape, I will be doing one session with you wherein we will take one example of a process and we'll create a diagram. I'll also give you one assignment on creating a diagram. We might do it on Draw. Draw is available free on internet, so you can use it. At the same time, I'll create one on PPT as well. So this is the tool that you would be using. Then UAT scenarios. So since there was one question on UAT, so you will write the scenarios that this is what we want to have our test cases built on. You might not write the entire test case, but these are the scenarios that I want to be included. Based on those scenarios, your testers will be writing these UAT test cases, and then UAT users will be performing those testing. Last part is training materials and SOP. Like some customers demand that you write a training material. For example, right now, you asked me about in this training that we need a material to study later on. So same case, your client can also can demand that we need some SOPs written, that how to use this product, or if I can tell you how to use this leave management system. So you will write step by step. You might include some pictures, some arrows that you click on here, then go there. So you will be asked to create materials and SOPs. At some point, you will be asked to give some demos as well. So you need to give demo as well, right? Change management is there, but that's not completely you will own it. But I'll tell you how to do change management, right? So if in short, if you ask me what all tools you will be using, so these are your uh, diagram tools. Apart from them, you will be using uh, Microsoft is there, Microsoft Suite, right? It has PPT, it has Word, it has Excel. There is PPT is for all the presentations, Word you will use for BRDs, FRD, Excels you will be using for configurations, like when you're gathering the requirements, right? Then for communication, you might use Outlook depending on whatever licenses your company has purchased, Teams, or maybe Slack, or some other tool, right? Then there is, as I was explaining you, that how do you gather requirements and where do you write these user stories? You will have to write these user stories somewhere. So there are some tools that you will use. So if since we are using service now, so I will tell you this is my fourth phase. Like in fourth phase, we have SPM. Then we'll tell you how to use agile development. This is where you will track everything, all your user stories, how to write acceptance criteria. But there are other companies who are using Jira. There are companies who are using Azure DevOps. Now, if you understand how to write user stories, how to manage a tool in this agile development, you will be able to do it in Jira and Azure also. The concept remains same. We'll do a deep dive here that can be extended to Jira and Azure DevOps tomorrow. So in nutshell, these are the tools that you will be using in any of the ServiceNow. Of course, ServiceNow. Okay. Uh, then BA deliverables are done. Okay. A normal BA and ServiceNow BA. ServiceNow BA thinks more towards in the form of process designing, optimization. You will work with process owners, platform architects. You will design process maps, to-be workflows, solution designs, and there are some best practices, there are some guidance that you will follow for the best implementation, right? So, ServiceNow BA is voice of process improvement, PI. So you will have to improve the process. That's what make you efficient and knowledgeable and someone who can, you would be a go-to person for all the ServiceNow related work. So ServiceNow is all about improving the processes by creating workflows. In the normal one, if you talk about any domain BA and all, you will just follow the product that has been signed off, that how it should work and all. But here you have the opportunity to optimize or you redesign those process. This is your a sequence of a BAs in a ServiceNow project that you will understand. You will identify business pain points. What are their manual process? What are the issues with them? Some issues with integrations. You will gather requirements from their SMEs and end users. You will work with developers and architects to configure modules. You will validate solutions via test cases. You will support go live and user training, right? This is what a ServiceNow BA would be performing in these different projects. If I can tell you about the skills of a successful BA, so first we are looking at functional skills, wherein we want to start with ServiceNow administration that we'll do in these all are coming in next phases, like understanding of ServiceNow modules, but familiarity of agile tools, as I mentioned, right? That Jira is there, Confluence is there, Azure DevOps is there, ServiceNow Agile Development is there. If you cover one, rest of them are covered. Process modeling, Visio, Lucidchart, Draw.io, right? Of course, soft skills, communication, critical thinking. You should be able to manage stakeholders. You will be one of the key skill that you require in any of the BA project is how do you manage the stakeholders? Do you understand your stakeholders? You will find stakeholders, some are really tough to manage, some are easy to manage. So how do you manage your stakeholders? Of course, there is problem solving. So we are focusing right now on um, the soft skills as well as BA fundamental skills. When we are telling you about how will you get the requirements, and how will you write different requirements, how will you how to maintain the different phases, what you can expect in different phases, right? The last part is summary and Okay, I think this timing is, I will change it. Summary and key takeaways that a BA bridges a gap between this business and technical end. The focus is on process understanding, process improvement, the clarity in requirement, and how to validate users' input. You will ensure that workflows deliver real business value. You will be able to think in terms of process, not just features. Okay, now one thing I would like to end this session is that a great BA doesn't just gather requirement, they uncover opportunities. What are the opportunities? Opportunities to improve the process, opportunities to validate whether what would be the outcome of that requirement. You understand why behind that requirement, right? So this is what makes you a wonderful BA. Our next class would be on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. So for now, this week we are keeping Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. From next week, we might change it. So I'll discuss with Sudesh, and Sudesh will inform you what would be the timings. Before I end this session, let me know what are your queries. And Sudesh, if you want to take over.
Hi, Nishant.
Thank you,
This
Sean.
is Nirmala.
Hello. Mhm.
I have a question, Nishant. So,
Yes,
as a
please.
BA, I'm gathering the information,
Mhm.
gathering the requirements from the stakeholders,
Right,
and I'm getting this
right.
to my development team, and they are developing
Mhm.
as a front end. For example, they're using .NET or Java for the front end, and some SQL or Oracle for the back end. Okay, and my project is
Mhm.
ready and it's been deployed. So, where does
Mhm.
this service now fits into this picture? It's only for me as a BA. It's my own tool or it has some
Mhm.
other functionalities in this picture.
Okay. So, have you heard of Salesforce,
Um, no, I don't have much
SAP?
knowledge about. Mhm.
Can
No,
you
no.
can you
Just
explain Salesforce?
do you know these? Do you know these tools? Salesforce, SAP. I mean, I'm
No.
not saying from functionality point of view. Just if you have heard about these tools, that there
Yes, I
is
have heard about those.
something.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Salesforce, SAP. Then, if I can come to even this Microsoft Office. Then if I
Mm-hmm.
can come to, then I'll come to your familiar tools. Uh, Visio, right? And then more familiar tools, there is a Jira tool, which is more familiar,
Mm-hmm.
or Teams tool. Now, what is it that we'll do in these different tools? If I just take an example of MS Office,
Mm-hmm.
there is a suite which has incident, not incident, which has Word, PPT, and all. Those
Correct.
have been configured for you and you use it, right?
Correct.
Similar is the case with ServiceNow. Okay. In ServiceNow, I have various products. One of the product is ITSM. In ITSM, I have incident, right? Suppose client is saying that I want to use ServiceNow's incident. So you will understand what is it that you want to use for the services. You will understand the service. You will configure ServiceNow for them. Now, who will do the configuration? ServiceNow itself has a ServiceNow is just to inform you, the language that ServiceNow is using. ServiceNow itself you can do development. So ServiceNow is using
Okay.
JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it has CSS, Jelly for front end designing and all, but that is not there. So this
Mm.
tool is more of a low code, no
Or
code
no code.
basis, minimum coding. At max, if you require some coding, you will use this JavaScript, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all of you can achieve through configurations. As in, you do not have to code. You will just use the out of the box feature, and you will be able to create
Mm.
a
Like
functionality,
drag and
right?
drop, you're saying. Okay.
Exactly, exactly. Drag and drop
Mm-hmm.
and minimum coding. I mean,
Minimum
there is a
coding.
term called you would have heard about this term called citizen developer. Citizen developer is who do not have to do too much of coding, simple things, drag and drop and all, and you will be able to make something. So
Mhm.
this is what this service now says. So at max, you do not have to code too much. You will take the requirement, you will create
Mhm.
user stories like this, and based on these
Mhm.
user stories, your developer would be creating a requirement. Once that requirement is developed, created, and all, this function, this feature is available inside this ITSM incident, and then
Mhm.
users, client will have their users. Maybe they have 20 users. So they will
Mhm.
have an instance, they can log into that instance and they can complete their delivery of services through incidents.
Okay. So the all
Right
the
now you might
developers will they having the
right. So
instance.
developer will do
Okay.
their so just to this service now will have different persona. One of the
Mm-hmm.
persona is for admin, right?
Hmm.
One of the
Hmm.
persona is for maybe as an end user.
End user. Hmm.
One of the persona could be for manager,
Like agents. Mm-hmm.
right? Agents
Hmm.
or engineer, right? They will work according to
Mm-hmm.
it. So admin will be configuring it, end user will
Okay.
be using it, manager's role would be more of approving something, right?
Hmm.
Like agents, I will call it
Taking the
engineers,
task. Huh.
right? Taking the task, they will be working on it. So that's how it
Hmm.
will be. You will
Okay.
get more
Once.
clarity about service now once I will share you how to
Okay.
create your account and how to work on
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah.
it.
Thank you,
Okay,
Nishan.
you're welcome.
Uh,
Any other question?
I have
Nishant,
a question.
okay, uh,
Yes. Yes, one by one. Who is going
Yeah,
next? Salman, you're going?
myself.
yeah, I can go. Uh,
Sure,
Quick question
sure.
is this, that the Salesforce does the similar
Hmm.
thing? How
Now,
is Salesforce? What is a Salesforce basically?
Salesforce is a CRM tool, customer
Okay,
relationship management, right? See, understand, every tool has its purpose. Now, you would have heard of WhatsApp, you would have heard of Facebook, you would have heard of Instagram. Now, do you
correct,
know why Instagram is popular? It's nothing but you're just uploading picture, and
correct.
now there are videos as well, short format, long format, but not too long. But WhatsApp is more about just communication, and Facebook is more about connecting with pictures, everything is there, right? Similar is the case with these tools. So Salesforce has CRM. This is specific to CRM. SAP has a different format, right? MS Office is more about documentation. Visio is more about creating diagrams. Jira is mix of two, three things. It has Confluence where you can store your documents. It has ITSM also. Teams is more for collaboration. ServiceNow primarily ITSM, but as I mentioned, ServiceNow has many products. It also has CRM.
Got it.
It also has HRSD. Okay, now whatever the client says that I want to use ServiceNow for ITSM, so you will there and you will take the requirements. If they say I want to use ServiceNow for HRSD, you will go there. Now, if it is Salesforce, maybe if you specialize or someone who is specialized in Salesforce, they will be taking requirements on CRM.
So basically, Salesforce only
Mhm.
deals with CRM, while ServiceNow deals with ITSM, CRM, and HRSD.
Okay,
Um,
just to
if
answer
I'm
your question, uh, I'll answer that question. That's a diplomatic answer. As you see, Instagram started with picture, just pictures, but now it is moving into reels and maybe chat as well. Similar thing is other tools are also expanding their portfolios. They started with CRM, and to your surprise, they're entering into ITSM as well. ServiceNow started with ITSM, they have entered into CRM as well. So every tool or every now it started as a tool, but now it has become an enterprise. They're expanding their wings. Now it
uh,
is up to the
hmm,
client what client want to use, right? I mean, out of us also, in our batch right now, I am sure you can use both Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. but some will not use Facebook for some reason. There can be any reason. They're happy with Instagram. Or there will be some users who do not want to use any of these. They're happy with WhatsApp. So totally up to some reasons that why they are using ITSM, CRM, HRSD. So for now, since we are talking about service now, I will be here and talking about ITSM, HRSD, and other products. So I am
Uh,
doing
uh,
a deep dive of ITSM, but before ITSM, we will touch or will do a complete training on admin because this admin is same for all of the other products.
Nishant,
Mhm,
so that's another question. Like, once we do the
mhm,
BA training and goes through all what you will be telling us in different modules in
mhm,
admin,
mhm.
ITSM, CRM, HSD, what is the career path? Like, we start as a BA, and then how do you what how do you people transform into other roles as
Okay,
the time progresses? Yes, please. Thank you.
great. You can start as a ServiceNow BA. See, even in ServiceNow BA, once, see, so suppose you have spent maybe 2 years or maybe 1 year in ServiceNow BA. Now, gradually, you will understand that you are doing some part of Scrum Master, and in some places, you will be owning this role. After some time, you will realize it. Since you're working with technical architect, so if you want to go ahead in Scrum as a ServiceNow be a Scrum Master, you can go there. That is one rule. Since you will be working with technical architect, tomorrow you feel like I'm good at creating solutions. I'm good at since I've understood service now, maybe I can create solution. I am able to understand the technical part of it. So tomorrow you can be a service now architect. If at all within these 2 years, someone realized that I am good at managing resources, right? So you can transition into ServiceNow project manager. After some time, maybe in this path, some realize that you want to understand how a product would look like, how you can shape the product, right? So you can get into ServiceNow product owner. Apart from this, you can be ServiceNow project manager, and there is a term called ServiceNow platform owner, right? What is platform owner? Right now, you just know few products like you have ITSM, HRSD. Platform owner is who has complete understanding of service. You take him to any of the product and he knows how to work on it. So you can transition into platform owner as well. So these are the possible roles within ServiceNow, or maybe we'll understand about pre-sales. Pre-sales is someone who goes in front of the client and pitches the solution that this is your requirement and this is what we can do. Pre-sales is right now we are saying that we have a project, you're starting it. Understand there is a this is the delivery of a project. But before delivery of a project, how this vendor came into the picture, there is a story that is known as pre-sales. So if you feel like you want to go into pre-sales, you can go there, or you want to go into sales altogether. That maybe you want to sell service now to other vendors. So you can go into sales as well. Totally up. Just these are the possible rules. There are more as well. Does that
It
answer your question?
it does, Nishant. It feels to me that, sir, the BA is the first step, and then the other steps comes
Right.
later on. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi,
Okay,
Nishant.
Nishant.
Hi,
Uh,
Nishant.
Yes. Hi.
No, I think
Anyone
so
can
many
go.
people are asking. Okay, so I have like one quick question. Like will you cover also ITOM and ITEM module also of ServiceNow, or it just ITSM, CRM, and HRSD only?
No, I'm not even covering CRM. See, I'll
Okay,
tell you.
ITM.
This uh, one product itself will take 2 to 3 weeks. Right. We cannot cover all of them. So what I'm doing
Okay,
is since you are starting your journey, I would want to start with something which is known. which is easy to understand at the same time, which has been used by most of the companies.
Okay.
Since I mentioned that ITSM was the first product, so most of the companies, if you go and check the Gartner report, ServiceNow ITSM is capturing almost 40 to 50% of the market.
Yeah.
Right. So every other uh, company you will see would be using ServiceNow ITSM. So why not understand this product? After
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
there are
definitely.
other
Yeah.
products. Right. So I will give you a template how to read any other product in HRSD. Now tomorrow, whether it is ITOM, ITEM, and anything, if you want to do it on your own, you can follow this template and you will be able to do it. Yes, there are requirements on ITOM, ITEM as well, but you can, if you directly jump onto the complex one, then
Yeah.
you
No, no, no.
might
I am
mess up
asking because
understanding.
I was working
No,
with
no.
ITSM and ITOM simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I ask.
Okay, 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 okay.
Mhm.
Nishant,
Yes.
do we require a ServiceNow or ITSM certification for
Um,
job
in
or?
ServiceNow, you have certifications. First certification that is mandatory CSA. CSA is expected from everyone.
Mhm.
CSA is for admin. Then there are mainline certifications. These are called Certified Implementation Specialist. You can have this CIS for each of these different products like ITSM or HRSD, right? So CSA is mandatory. I'll help you with how to prepare for CSA and all.
Mhm.
CIS ITSM is up to you since each of these certificates will bear a cost, 300 USD that you will have to pay on your own. So if you can afford, I mean, definitely you can. But if you want to go ahead with another 300 USD, you can. I'll help you with preparation. But minimum is this, that CSA is required.
Okay.
Nishant,
Okay.
we need CSM as well, right?
CSM, correct. From ServiceNow, this is what you need. And then from BAs and how to understand, since agile is the need of R. It was need of the art from previous good number of years, but right now every customer you talk to them, they will be saying that they need agile. From that standpoint, CSM is what you need to do. That Sudesh can cover more on the CSM part.
We can either do CSM, or you can also get certified from International Scrum Institute. It's only $50, guys. 50 USD. Okay, it'll work out cheaper. But for us to transition to the job market, as long as we have ServiceNow Administrator certification for ServiceNow and for Scrum Master certification, these two are more than enough for us to transition as of now.
Mhm. Nishant, are we also covering the AI part of ServiceNow?
Definitely. I'll have one session wherein I'll tell you how what is it that ServiceNow doing is AI space and how AI is infused into these different products. So
Sure.
AI is not a separate module. It is
Mhm.
part. It come understand this is a layer on top of
Yeah,
each of these products.
sure. Thank you.
You're
Hey
welcome.
Nishant, I have a question from the beginning.
Yes. Yes,
Uh,
please.
if you go up for the BA role and responsibility BA,
Mm-hmm.
my understanding is many of the BA's roles and responsibilities is covered by project coordinator, developer, tester, and solution architecture. On
Mm-hmm.
that case, why the project manager will hire a BI when where other people are doing this his task? And the
Mm-hmm.
second question is, looks this BS activity will be in the primary phase or maybe during the testing phase. So is a BA is required for the whole time of the project and the implementation and delivery?
Mm-hmm.
So how the BS demand in these cases?
Okay. Okay. You are right that you will see that BA's responsibilities, that there are some responsibilities where overlying with these project manager, BA, technical team. like developer, tester, architect. But one thing I can tell you is, or we'll cover it in one of before I start ITSM. So ServiceNow follows ITIL 4. Okay. There is a special ask of a BA. Now, why do you need a BA? The answer is definitely some part of it lies with project manager, technical developers, testers, and architect. But alone, if BA is not there, understand, or maybe you will see it when you join a project. Developers will never think beyond this part. Technical architect will always talk about technical things. Suppose, understand you are my client and I am a technical architect. I'll come to you and say that let's work on catalog. Can you help me? What are your different catalogs? Understand you are client. You do not have you just know that you want to implement service now, you want to learn service now. I am throwing a term towards you, catalog. Tell me how many catalogs you're using. It will be a bouncer for you. So ServiceNow BA is one. If this is catalog, he will tell you catalog is nothing but tell me what all services you have. He will give an example that these are your different services. So understand when I say that they translate customers' language into a language that this technical team can understand. They understand the technical language so that they can convert it into a business language that client can understand. Right.
Okay.
At the same time, developer's role, no. I would not completely agree that developer can take away BA's role. No. Developer will only know the technical part, that how this will be achieved. But understand who will create this process. This process will be created by BA itself.
Okay.
And if you look at this development life cycle, development is at the third stage. First is planning. What is it that we want to do? Developer will not have that mindset. What is it that we want to design? Developer will never be able to design. But of course, if there are some experienced developers, maybe someone who has spent like 7, 8 years in ServiceNow development, they can definitely come into it and pitch. But at this point, when he has spent 7, 8 years, he don't want to be into the designing and implementation or planning phase. They would be getting into technical architect phase. Okay,
Understand.
that is one thing. Now, the other thing, as you mentioned, that about testing and all these phases. So understand, ServiceNow BA, you are not just working on one project. You might be working on multiple projects. And even in this, you will not be able to, since we are delivering everything in sprint. This agile development is nothing but, though I will be covering it in upcoming slides, upcoming classes, but just to give you an answer, agile development, you will deliver your project in sprints. Sprint is nothing but uh, it usually is there max for 4 weeks and minimum for 1 week. So you are delivering small duration,
Iteration.
time box duration, right? Iterations. So at any point, if you are into development part, you are not just BA, as I mentioned, that some project might not have Scrum Master. So you might play that role. Now I'll come to the question wherein you were saying that, what all role you can play. So tomorrow you can be the someone who can say that, BA can perform Scrum Master, we do not need Scrum Master. BA can do project manager if you do not need project manager. So totally up to the experience, right?
Understand. So BA in general is a like expert for, not like expert, but he should have all sections knowledge. Is it
Correct.
coordination
Jack of all
something?
trades.
Okay. Understand.
Yeah, it also
But
depend
all
on the organization, especially, right, Nishant? Some
correct.
organization, mostly banking, project
Mhm.
manager don't do any kind of BA work. Like they are just project manager. So
But trust me, no one will do any other's job. When you will
yeah,
go
that's
into
why
the
I'm saying
project,
like mostly bank
developer.
Yeah.
Developer, you will see developer saying that, hey, this is not my role. BA will do it. Technical architect will say, this is not my role. BA will do it. Even project manager will, first thing project manager will do is hire a BA.
Yeah.
Because project manager will not go and talk to anything to the client regarding service now. He will just manage the resources. He will manage the budget. He will manage that for next who is going on leave, then what if who is with the backup and all of those things.
Yeah, especially in Canada market. In US, technical
Right.
project manager is different. So, but in Canada, project manager is just project manager.
So that's the same with others as well. You will rarely see any project manager saying that, I can own BS work.
Yeah.
Another question, maybe Nishant,
Mhm.
sorry for the
Mhm.
third question, too many questions. As you mentioned, there's the communication is the most things required for the BA. Uh,
Right.
what the BA facing the challenges? I mean, 3, 4 challenges. What will be in the real life scenario that BA will be faced?
Okay. For that, Sayed, you will have to wait for my upcoming classes.
Oh, sorry,
This
sorry.
is this is one of it feels like I'm sitting in an interview. But trust me, this question will come to you in your interview. For sure. This is one of the questions that will be asked. And I will be covering those different scenarios. And to
Okay,
answer
okay,
your
no problem,
question,
no problem. Thank you, thank you.
no, that's fine. But no, just to tell you that everything is covered. You mentioned a day in life for ServiceNow BA. I will cover. I usually cover everything here, but throughout these different classes, I will be telling you different phases. See, I've already mentioned. While navigating through training, we'll do questions relevant to particular topic, real life scenarios, situation, best practices BA, what question to ask to client, and how to take requirements. So there will be scenario wherein you can get stuck. What are those scenarios? If I tell you right now, you will not be able to understand because right now we are not started service now. So when we start a topic, then I'll tell you that this is where you might face some challenge. How to overcome that also I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there is
Hi,
one more question. Yes, please.
hi, Nishan. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what does it take to
Mhm.
become an implementation consultant with ServiceNow? I,
Implementation
I I see
consultant.
I see that with all of the
Mhm.
roles that you mentioned, you didn't
Mhm.
mention implementation consultant.
That's perfect. That comes in your technical architect. But implementation consultant is nothing as such a different role. Since once you come, see, as I mentioned, wait, let me share my screen once again. Okay. As I mentioned that when you do this certification, right?
Mm-hmm.
CSA, admin. Then third is CIS. This is Certified Implementation Specialist. Once you complete this CIS ITSM, you are implementation specialist. So there is no specific role as such. Since you completed this certification, you are expected that you know ITSM, you know how to implement it. There
Oh,
can be technical part. The technical part will be taken care by developer. But after you complete the certification, you are already standing in that position of an implementation consultant.
gotcha. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. After this, I think I do not see. Let me see in the chat if we
Any
have
other
any
questions,
question.
guys? Nishant, thank you so much for the wonderful session and thank you for taking all the questions. And so,
Thank you,
folks,
Suresh.
on interest of time, we will conclude it. I do want to tell you that there are two other sessions we're going to have this week. The next is Thursday and Friday, same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's the same link. You'll just see the dates changing, so you can use the same link to come in. Continue to come and learn. I do want to tell you something. If you have to land into an IT job, if you're already from IT, that's okay. There are people who are coming from already tech background. They're coming here to learn the service now and upgrade themselves and move into a demand career. And then we have people who are coming in new. Don't get freaked out when you see technology guys over here. Okay, they are all here at the same, we are all in the same stage, we're all trying to learn a new product anyways. Okay, so the program is designed in a way where we can go 0 to 100. You must take steps to also to go through these recordings again and go through the different kind of terminologies and stuff which Nishant is talking about. I do want to tell you, so today we have to get you up to the speed based on today's requirement in ServiceNow. So it does require you to have your undivided attention, and we will not compromise the quality and the market requirement, because if we compromise, then you're not getting result, right? So we want you guys to step up. We need to choose the hard. ServiceNow is in high demand for the next 10-15 years. My latest guy got job in 3 weeks. Okay, so that's how demand, this career is all about. And with our marketing services in US and Canada, we can make these things happen. Okay, so I'm super excited for you. I'll let you guys go. See you guys back on tomorrow evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great night, guys. Good night, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you,
Nisha.
Sudhir. Thank you,
Thank
Good
Nishan.
you.
night.
Thank you,
Thank
Good night.
you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sudhir.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Nishan.
Thank you, Nishan.
Thank you.